what's up, how's it hanging? How's it happen? You guys know this is Kevin from the Chord Progression Podcast, sponsored by Dark Fusion Systems, the best for your custom computing needs. Whether you need a custom computer for gaming, creative, streaming, music, business, they will build the proper PC for you. Get $100 off your entire build. Code CPPOD at checkout.darkfusionsystems.com. Make sure for the podcast. Well, they also got a brand new keyboard coming out. And it is out. Go check it out. Downside feature presentation. I've been wanting to bring this band on the podcast for years, and now it's happening. We have Taz from Belmont on the podcast. The new album, Liminal, drops on April 12th. We talk about the album. We talk about the creation of it. We talk about how much fun these guys have with their music and how much that fun radiates through it, like being in summer in the middle of winter. And we have one of the best ideas ever. Demolition Derby style. You guys ready? Let's go! Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, listeners of the Chord Progression Podcast. I have been wanting to bring on this band to the podcast for so goddamn long, ever since I first found out and saw them play live right at the end of the COVID-19 pandemic. And when I say that this is one of my most favorite bands to go and see live, I absolutely mean it. The energy, the style, how much fun it is in that crowd, you are not going to want to miss out on any bit of it. And the best part about it is they got a brand new album coming out on April 12th called Liminal. And if you like pop punk, if you like some of the heavier soundings that go within there, or just to have a kick-ass time, this is the band for you to check out and the album for you to check out. So please welcome Taz from Belmont to the podcast. So Taz, welcome to the Chord Progression Podcast.
Hey, baby. Thanks for having me. Stoked to be here, man.
Dude, happy as all hell to have you here. And I'm not going to lie. I'm just going to open up with this once again. Dude, when I get to see you guys play live and anyone gets to see you play live, it is a freaking energetic party from start to finish. And it's definitely, as I've seen it, every time I've seen you, the crowds have grown in size, the crowds have grown in energy, and it just keeps going. So, and you know me, I already said I'm from Milwaukee, so I'm right around your neck of the woods in Chicago. I know that closer to home, it's always going to be popping off. But have you seen that continually happening all across the country?
Oh, bro, first I just want to say thank you for all the love. It means a lot. But yeah, absolutely, man. It's been one hell of a ride. I was I was just talking to someone yesterday. We're pretty much hitting the 10-year mark right now as our band. Like, wouldn't say as it releases, but actually like getting together, starting to jam and stuff in high school. So it's kind of it's been a really long ride, and it's been honestly it's been like a dream come true, bro. Because like you said, it's like the Chicago shows, we consistently see them bump, but like we go out to LA and like Colorado, for example. Both are just like second homes to us. It's like we know every time we go out there, it's always going to be a party. And so it's like it's great to see like all around the country. Like it's, even in Florida, man. Like so much love for Florida because like they always pop out every time they come through.
That doesn't surprise me in the slightest. It's all based upon not only just the style of music you guys play with, the intensity, the energy you guys bring, but when you guys are up on stage, especially you, it's just wild, manic, a whole shit ton of fun. And if by the end of the show you're not profusely sweating, something definitely did not go right.
Dude, that's what I'm saying, honestly. Like, I feel like by the end of the show, like I'm dying, everyone else is dying. And it's like coming to the merch, and everyone's always like, "Oh, dude, I'm so sorry, I'm so sweaty." I'm like, bro, you don't got to tell me about that. Like, I'm a whole mop back here.
Yeah, because I remember the last time I saw you, I got done with the show. My first thought was, I absolutely regret having to wear a long sleeve shirt to this show. Why the fuck was I thinking that was a good idea?
Facts, man. Yeah. I've definitely been there. I feel that.
Yeah, but again, it's such a beautiful thing, and it's something that I remember seeing you guys, like, I think it was maybe the first or second show you guys played right after the pandemic. And it was just, seeing the energy that you guys were able to bring to a crowd that had been dying for live music, seeing people just go off, go nuts. And then every subsequent time I've seen you, it just keeps growing and growing. Again, it's just one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. And especially with the release of Liminal, I just keep hope that it keeps growing bigger and bigger and better and better so that you're playing, to as many people as possible, getting on a bunch of different festivals as well. And even more people get to know about Belmont's sound and style.
Fuck yeah, baby. I appreciate that, man. I think honestly, like this is, I feel like everyone kind of says it, but I feel like we've just like consistently just been like trying to one up ourselves with the music. And so I feel like this album's definitely, people are going to be very stoked when they hear the rest of it.
Well, let's dive right into it, because I remember right when I first found out about, new music was coming out, the first song that dropped on it was SSX Trickmont. I remember listening to it the first time, and all I could think of was, how in the absolute hell did you guys encapsulate the whole entire vibe of SSX Tricky, the whole entire video game series, in the first 3 seconds of the fucking song? I had no idea how that was even possible.
Dude, so it's actually funny because Jason and Brian, they play a lot of Tony Hawk's Underground actually, and like they every time like we get ready for tour, those dudes will like they'll sit in the basement and they'll like play that shit for like a week straight. And like Brian doesn't have a memory card or anything, so he has to leave his PS2 on. So like they try to like speed run the fucking game, and so like we just had like the PS2 running, whatever. We were just like it was like it was over the summer, and we are just like down in Brian's basement jamming whatever, and we were just like fucking around with there's one of the Nero DSP plugins. I think it's the I can't even think it's the Gojira one. It has like some crazy pedal effects, and we were like fucking around with some stuff, and it was like I don't know. We were like, oh, dude, this is like we're like fucking this is like a trick. Like we're always trying to throw in some tricks and like the music or whatever, and then just like we were just I don't know. It just like accumulated with like what was going on with the the whole PS2 vibe and playing a lot of Tony Hawk. Like this feels like fucking like SSX Tricky. And, we just kind of did the 2-in-1 there at the SSX Trickmont. So.
I mean, the only thing that was missing was right before the song started, or like for a breakdown call, it would have been the EA Sports big.
Facts, yeah, that would have been fucking hard, man. That was definitely missed.
Maybe during a live show, you guys could throw that in there and just see what happens. The crowd probably would lose their absolute fucking minds.
Dude, that would be fucking dope, actually. It's a great idea.
Drop the ID in there, so next time I see you guys perform live, when it gets played, I'm going to be expecting something like that to happen. And then if it happens, you're going to see me in the pit just go, yeah! And then probably hit somebody for fun.
Fuck yeah, baby. You're definitely going to hear that shit.
Oh, but again, it's just, that song, just the idea, right when it came out, right when I first heard it, all I could think of was, of course, knowing your sound, like, I kind of always wondered where you guys are going to go next, and right from the get-go, I was instantly hooked. I'm like, this is insanely inventive. It still has the full Belmont style behind it, still has the faster pace, still has those certain guitar tones you hear in there, but just the way that plugin worked, everything maxed out on it. And I'm assuming that right when you guys dropped it, the reception, I'm assuming, of course, had to be just massively positive from everyone thinking, holy shit, this is taking me back to like playing GameCube in 2003.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that was the absolutely idea. We just kind of, because like that's just something that we all, I feel like we kind of embrace. Like we all, we just like, we're just fucking, we're always just like chilling. We're back home. Like no one's like taking anything super serious. So I feel like that was just kind of like to have fun with the music too. It just, it worked out really well. And like you said, everyone was definitely stoked as fuck on it, which was really sick. It was great because, it's like trying something new sometimes, it could be like hit or miss. Some people are like, I don't fuck with this. Or like, this is like bring back the old stuff. And it's like, it's really awesome when like you can like move forward and have people still backing you.
Oh, absolutely. And no matter what, you're always going to get those people that even as you try and move forward with certain things, you try something different, they're always going to be, oh, go back to the old stuff. I just want to hear overstepping every single minute of every single day and just that and leave it at that. But when you guys released that track with SSX Trickmont, it showed again, you guys can do so many different things with your music and it still has that in like genuineness behind you guys throughout the whole entire thing. So going through the rest of Liminal, it still has all of that different inventiveness, all these different things you're trying as well. And it still has the overall Belmont feel because going through it after one time full listen through, I'm just like, I can clearly tell this is a Belmont record, but I can also tell that there is an expanding sound that's coming through here on all these different songs, different styles, different emotions, different tones, different messages, whatever it might be. It's an expanding sound, especially coming after Aftermath as well. Just continue to expand on what Belmont is and what it's going to be.
Yes, sir. I mean, that's absolutely been the plan. Like we're always just trying to like move things forward, but at the same time, I was just going to say too, there's a few songs on the album too that we feel like kind of threw back a little bit for like the old school Belmont fans. So there's a little bit of something for everybody on this one for sure.
There definitely is. So let's already dive into one of those. So one of those ones that you think for an old school Belmont fan, because I've gone through every single song. I'm ready to talk about any single one of them. Which is one that you think like an old school Belmont fan will just be like salivating over when they first hear it?
I even feel like just the one we just put out, like Dark Paradise, because I feel like that one is a little more just like straight, kind of like pop punk, kind of like along like vicissitude lines of stuff that we were doing. So I just, honestly, like it's so funny you bring that up because I actually gotta find the full track listing because off the top of my head, I actually still use all the like the bullshit names that we use in the studio and stuff, but honestly, I could tell you it's probably Dark Paradise and one other one on there it's not going to be a single, but it'll just be on the record. And it's very just, it's kind of old school pop punk-esque. And I feel like that one, people are really going to fuck with that if they're into the older Belmont.
I could easily see, especially with Dark Paradise, well, now that is a single, just got released, I think, the day that we were recording this as well. Because I even looked at it, and I was just like, the chorus needs to be studied as more of that like upfront and brash style, especially for your vocals, while still matching with the energy of the verses, giving a faster pace and flow. Honestly, needs to be studied for how a band builds something like this to great success in the end. That's how I'm looking at it as my note sheet. I'm like, I gotta take a look at this to make sure I get this right.
Hey, bro, I appreciate that shit for real. That means a lot, man. It means a lot.
Yeah, but of course, there's plenty of other songs on the record too. There's a couple of them I definitely want to go into because there are two songs that it always stick out in my head because of what you guys did with some certain sampling, some breakdown callouts that made absolutely no sense. First one I got to jump into is Two's a Party because what you guys lead into the breakdown, the sample that you use made me laugh my freaking ass off with what you did, but it fits so well within the progression of the song where it's just like, why has no one done this yet? This is fantastic. I'm surprised that Nick Nocturnal hasn't picked up and tried to do something like this, but I'm pretty sure after the song releases, he's going to be like, fuck, why didn't I think of that?
Facts, man. Yeah, that's like going back to what I was talking about earlier, bro. We love to just have a lot of fun in the studio, and a big part of that too comes from we're working with Andrew Wade, and like he's a fucking clown himself, and so the whole time we're writing these songs and actually recording them, it's just like we're constantly just like walking around and just throwing out like stupid ideas like, hey, let's try this, and like sometimes it obviously just doesn't work, and then other times like it just fits so perfectly that it kind of just like, I don't know, man, it just like it hits right. And then there's a couple other spots in the album too, again, that you haven't heard yet, that kind of along the same effect of just some goofy shit that like you're not gonna expect, but it works in the context of things for sure.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll say for everyone listening, one of those other songs is definitely a song Counterfeit. And that's probably one of my favorites on the whole entire album as well, because it has one of those goofy moments towards the end. I'm not going to say what it is because I do not want to spoil it, but I do want to tease it as like, you got to go check this out because that both what you did for the call outs on Two's a Party and Counterfeit are living rent free in my head ever since I listened to the album. And I continue to listen to it over and over again. It's like, I got to keep getting this, keep enjoying this. And it's just so much damn fun. I can't stop.
Hey, I appreciate that, man. That's all. Honestly, like I said, I feel like as a band, obviously we we strive to hit, certain like we still try to hit, emotional parts in our songs, but like I feel like too as a band, we never really necessarily take ourselves just too serious. We're more of just like, we want to have a good time, like we make the music that we like to hear, and like that's always been like something that I feel like we've strived for. Because even I remember when I was when I first started Belmont, it was like shit, like again back in like 2014, I was like, I was like in high school, and I was like posting in groups everywhere, and I was like, man, like I want a band that can like mix like Story So Far with like Volumes with like Citizen, because I was like into all these different types of bands, and I remember people were like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? Like that's not even possible. And then now, like, I don't know, here like 10 years later, I feel like I have a band that's like we can just kind of do whatever we want, a combination of different sounds, and it's just like it works out for us, and I'm just like, that's something that I'm very proud of for sure.
I would definitely take pride in that if I were you, especially when it comes to just how you said you guys are just writing a lot of songs, just kind of fucking around, messing around, seeing what you guys want to try out, just try these different things and do it in more of a relaxed way where it's just having fun and keeping the overall idea of having fun with music into it. Because yes, when you're in a band and you're trying to focus on it and grow as much as possible, it is a business, and sometimes those business aspects take over, sometimes those tasks take over, and it can remove some of that enjoyment from it. But if you're still focusing on where the enjoyment pieces come in, that's where you get to end up just having fun with the music, messing around. And that, I'll say, that's not necessarily a lack of care. That's more of a relax and just letting creativity flow naturally from you guys. And that natural creativity absolutely comes out on Liminal all the way through.
Exactly. Yeah, man. I definitely I agree with you 100%. I feel like we, like I said, we're all just kind of like goofy ass dudes. Like especially if you sat down with Brian, you would definitely quickly see a dude's a goofy goober. I love him to death, and I say that with all love. He's my fucking boy. But we're all definitely just kind of goofy, down to earth dudes, and I just feel like if we tried to take ourselves too serious in the music, that like I feel like it would easily come across as like we're trying to put on a front, or like we're trying to like do something that we're not. And like it's some people obviously don't fuck with that because they're like, oh, this isn't our vibe. But it's like I feel like it's that there's just like there's got to be a certain level of just being you know, like you said, having fun with your music. Because if you're not, then like I guess like that's the whole point of it, is enjoyment. So it's like, if you're not, you know, if you're taking it serious and you're like expecting everybody else to take it serious, obviously, you know, there's room for that in music. I'm not bashing that, but I feel like, you know, it's important to also have fun with your music. And I feel like another band that does that really well is Hot Mulligan, where, you know, they have a lot of, you know, like emotional choruses, you know, they're like lyrics hit really hard, but at the same time, you know, they'll have like goofy ass titles and like goofy music videos, and it like, but it blends really well. And like, that's just like, you can tell those dudes also are having fun with their music. And that's just like, you know, I think that's also a big part of their success. It's like genuine. They don't try to put on a front of like, oh, you know, we're these like fucking big rock stars or this or that. They're just like some fucking dudes from the UP who fucking, you know, they've just been like doing their thing, and like here they are, you know what I mean? It's awesome.
Yeah, and when it comes to music overall, how long, especially during like the 2010s, I mean, and that's in any kind of music, especially within rock and metal, it seemed like everyone was just super duper serious about what they were saying, what they were playing. And it was just, the focus was, we have to do this right. We have to do this seriously. We have to take this as like literal as possible at times. And then now, especially after the pandemic broke, we're starting to see bands, you know, especially take a little more liberties, but have more fun with their music and just be open and take the music seriously of what they're creating, but not take themselves seriously and continue to have fun. And those bands are people that are gravitating towards. Hot Mulligan's a great example. I think probably the best example of a band that's just taking their music and their creation process seriously, but just having as much fun with it and doing whatever the heck they feel like. Go over to Germany and look at what Electric Callboy's done. That is probably the best example of having fun, enjoying, but keeping the music serious to what you want it to be. And people are just attracting to it because after so much negativity, after so much just absolute evil that we keep seeing in the world every day, and how serious we end up feeling about it, why don't we just have some fun? Life is too short to be serious all the time.
Yep, exactly, man. I could not agree more. And I just gotta make another. I just feel like I don't know why I didn't even think about it either. But Bill Murray, there's another great band that does that. You know what I mean? Just absolute fucking goofballs, meme kings, and they you know, they just fucking, I don't know, man. They fucking kill it with that. And so yeah, I just feel like I definitely agree, bro. Like it's you know, you can't take shit too serious. You can't just take life too serious in general. You know what I mean? It's like you said, you never know what the fuck's gonna happen tomorrow. So it's like, you know, tomorrow fucking it could all go away. So it's just like, you know, enjoy it while it's here and just have fun.
Yeah, and I think that's also a big beauty that's in your music as well, because of just the energy, the way it sounds. It sounds like we can just escape for a moment from that reality of how bad everything is, and enjoy the reality of how good everything can actually be, how much fun it can be. Like I said earlier, I go to one of your shows and it's just an absolute blast for whenever you guys are up on stage, and I'm not thinking about anything but just the pure bliss of having the most amount of fun at a Belmont show. And when I listen to music, it's, you know, it's really hard to not enjoy life when Belmont's playing. It's open, it's honest, it's fun. And it's like, you know, it's like living in summer during winter. That's what it reminds me of.
Hey, bro, that means a lot to me, honestly, man. We that's like, again too, with our shows, bro, like same shit, you know, like we never try to take it too serious either. It's always just about like how much, like, we want to bring the balance. And like, you know, I feel like for the last, like, I don't know, like 4 or 5 tours, you know, every like intro we've had has just been something like, again, just something goofy, something we just want to have fun with. You know, everything is just we just want to have a good time. That's like what we're here for, is literally just to have a good time. That's pretty much the bottom line of that.
Yeah, and it's impossible for you guys to not have a good time and then not show that good time in your music. Even looking back at what you guys did with Aftermath, I mean, look at a couple of songs like with Bowser's Castle, because you end up putting like a whole entire like 8-bit feel into it. Or you guys made a pop punk country song on that album. Yeah. Like, how the fuck does that happen if you're taking yourself way too seriously all the time?
Exactly, man. And you know, it's so funny because Country Girl almost actually didn't even happen, because I brought that shit like I'd written that shit a little while before, like we were in the studio. Just like I had like the main like chorus idea, and I brought it in, and like, again, like, you know, we were working with Andrew Wade on that, and we showed him the idea, and everyone was like, all right, you know, this is whatever, we'll just sit on this for a bit. And like, you know, we didn't really like think anything of it. And then like the last week, like Wade was like, yo, dude, you still have that country song? And I was like, yeah, bro, let's pull it up. And we started like nailing it out. And then like the last night or 2 nights, we were just all like, it was like last few nights we were just trying to grind shit out, and we were just all like pretty hammered in the studio and just wired and fucking whatever, having a good time. We just ended up just like writing all the lyrics and just hammering it out the last like couple days. And we are just like, fuck it, dude. Like, whether people hate this or not, like, just something, again, that we thought was fun and funny, and just like Like, here it is. Let's do it.
I mean, that makes a lot of sense too. And also just kind of just getting, even recording, just, in the studio, just working on stuff, messing around, kind of being hammered as well. It does again speak to the fact that it's just, you guys are having the utmost fun with this, and you're bringing the positivity of being together, having a blast, enjoying the process, trying whatever the hell you feel like. And it doesn't matter what album you're creating, whether it's Liminal, whether it's Aftermath, whether it's self-titled, it could be anything you guys are creating, but you're going to have fun with it. And then that positivity and fun radiates in the music, in the creativity, in the experimentation, and through the overall sound where, again, I'm going to say it again, listening to Belmont is like being in summer in the middle of winter.
Dude, fuck yeah. That from being from Chicago, brother, that means a fucking lot.
Oh, trust me, especially because even the day we're recording this, the next day, like I said, we're supposed to get like 3 to 5 inches of wet, sopping, heavy snow.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to end up listening to this just to be in a big, giant, good mood, just going through, driving.
Bring the summer on, baby. Bring it on early. Come on.
Driving a Toyota Corolla, sliding all over the place, just blasting Trickmont, just like, this is fun. This is a good time, while everyone's just like, I hate this shit. Why am I here?
Everyone forgets how to drive. Even if there's an inch of snow, it's over. They're done.
Oh, dear God. Yeah, I don't say you know exactly what that's like. I remember even like when it started snowing this year, I'm just like, oh, we're probably not going to get that much, but we'll see what happens. Then one weekend, we got like 10 inches or 12 inches dumped on us. And it was like everyone forgot how to drive. Everyone forgot how to even dig out their own cars while I'm trying to dig out my car for a half hour just trying to get to the gym. And then all of a sudden you see me start skirting down the street in a little Toyota Corolla like, hey guys, I'm moving. More than I can say about you. Should have been listening to Belmont while I was doing that because that would have made it even better. But I don't think I was at that point in time. My bad.
What a fucking moshing with the cars. Make move out the fucking way.
That was actually something I wanted to try during the pandemic was if we can't, if we couldn't be, within 6 feet of each other, there's cars that we could do. Instead of, mosh pit, why not mosh, like
bumper cars.
Demolition derby.
Even fucking better. Yeah, fuck bumper cars. Demolition derby for sure. That would be fucking sick as hell, actually. Just like beat down demolition derby. I would watch that for sure.
What if you guys could actually play that though?
That would be fucking sick, man. I would 100% would be into that.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'm trying to think about this right now. What if it was like a show where it's like you guys played and you had just a big giant like pit in the middle, but it had a lot of room for it. And you just had a bunch of like, people that, signed up, of course, had waivers for shit with the venue, wherever it was going to be, and had like a full on demolition derby during your set and have it also, and then also, people that, oh, you're not in the derby and you don't want to watch, but you still want to mosh. We got an area over here where you can just hit each other for fun.
Dude, that would be honestly fucking wild. I mean, I would obviously be so fucking down for that. I just feel like I wouldn't even play the set because I would just be fucking trying to tell people what the fuck where to ram each other. I get way into that shit. Be like, damn, bro, fucking be getting way too distracted watching people fucking smash into each other.
Yeah, just like a nice breakdown happens. All of a sudden, I see just do a pit maneuver. Just pit him.
Facts.
But my God, that would be one hell of an idea. Alrighty, you know what? Maybe this has to happen at some point, later 2024. Maybe it's just like one of those end of summer things where it's, hey, it's the end of summer. What else is going on? And also think about this. What publication for rock metal or even like news channel would not want to pick that up? Like they would be clamoring for that. The intensity of the online community would be going nuts of like, how did this happen? Why have we not done this before? Who is Belmont? Why do we love Belmont so much? Why all of a sudden is Belmont, playing 5,000 cap rooms because of a demolition derby show?
Dude, $1 million fucking idea right here, honestly.
I'm not gonna lie. I've had this idea for a while.
I think we need to get you in contact with our agent, bro, honestly.
do it. Because I was gonna say I've had this idea since the pandemic, and I brought up to a couple of friends, but I've never actually brought up to any, band or any artist or anything like that. And today it's just like, this feels right. This feels like the day to bring it up because I found a band that absolutely would fit perfectly with the style.
Dude, 100% would be down. I know the rest of the boys would be too. Brian would be going fucking crazy up there. Brian would probably want to be in the fucking car, somehow playing drums in the car.
See, now this is where a problem comes in for me because it depends on where would I be in this situation. Because if I'm going to help put this together, do I got to be, around doing stuff, making sure everything goes right? Am I going to want to be in the regular pit like I always am, hitting people for fun? Or am I going to have enough balls to be like, you know what? I'm going to get myself a beater of a car, fix it up so it's, reinforced everything and enter the Demolition Derby. You know what? It's got to be number 3. I got to be in the car, man.
Bad, dude. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, I feel like I don't even know if I'd be able to play the show because, like, I would want to be in that shit trying to fucking go crazy, honestly. Like, I mean, like, if you're getting it to host a Demolition Derby, I feel like I want to be in the Demolition Derby. You know what I mean? Like, at least once.
You know what? There might be a time where all of a sudden we just have the full on, Belmont painted car just with as crazy artwork as you possibly wanted from spray paint, everything. Just you jump in a car for like one instrumental song and just go right into it.
Fuck yeah, dude. That would be a good move. That'd be a good move. Best of both worlds right there.
Or here's another idea, because I know you guys usually end the set with overstepping, and it's got a nice long intro to it. You jump into it, you guys extend the intro out, you hit people for like a minute, then you park the car in the middle of the ring, you hop out the top of it, and then you just perform on the top of the car.
Dude, as long as I don't get fucking ran over, I would be so fucking down with that.
That's why then all of a sudden we're going to have a bunch of people that know about this so we can circle the cars around your car and basically create like that wall that, people create in the pit when someone falls down and we're trying to make sure they're okay.
Dude, I mean, I would be down as fuck. I just know fucking some fans get wild, bro. I've almost like choked kids out with the mic cable. Definitely almost punched kids. Kids have definitely punched the shit out of me. Like fucking, I like all love my Belmont fans, but I don't know if I could trust them with that. I think they'd get a little too wild.
Well, now that just makes me want to do it even more. All right, now,
bro.
Now with that, go ahead.
What's up?
I said, go ahead. I'm sorry if I interrupted you.
Oh, no, you're good. I was just saying, man, that should be fucking intense as fuck. I would be down as hell for it.
Oh, absolutely. But now my question for you after that is, dude, because you just talked about how, almost choked someone out on accident with a mic cord. You accidentally may have pod someone out, almost got punched out yourself. What would be, at the moment, your wildest show story in that kind of capacity? Because you guys, again, put on some wild-ass shows, so there's got to be something that just stands out.
Oh, fuck, man. That's, there's been, like, there's been quite a few shows where kids have, like, straight up, like, gotten their shit rocked. Like, just this last tour with, Can't Swim, this girl, she fucking stage dove and definitely no one unfortunately caught her, and yeah, because she dove right into the pit and like kids were not paying attention and cracked her melon open, and that one was pretty gnarly. But I mean, shit, dude, it's like every night it's like a different type of wild, you know what I mean? It's like, I would say like some of our most wild shows though are always in Florida. Like kids always just go fucking, they always are just popping off. Like I would say this last time that we played in Tampa was one of the most wild shows personally, just because it was a packed room, about probably 300 kids in there. And it was like, there's like pictures up on my Instagram actually. And it's just like the entire room is just a massive fucking pit. And like the entire, like kids were consistently like stage diving, two-stepping on stage. Like it felt like a fucking, like an old ass, like, like pop punk hardcore show. And it fucking, that shit was really sick. Florida always pops off for us.
Well, now next time you guys go out on tour, I'm going to have to try and potentially find a Florida date to go to, because that sounds incredible. Or, you know what? I'm just going to have to make it happen here. Or, you know what? I'll have to join the rest of you guys in Chicago for a hometown show and make it happen there.
Dude, not wrong. Fucking Chicago always pops off too. You can never go wrong with a hometown show, baby.
Oh, not at all. And that's still one place I still have yet to see you guys play live, because I've seen you in Milwaukee twice. I think I saw you in Madison, Wisconsin once. I was like, I always want to see you guys play a hometown show to see what it's like. And because usually whenever I see the show come, I'm like, oh, Bottom Lounge, great venue. I should be there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. Bottom Lounge is my fucking favorite venue, actually.
Really? I got to ask why. I mean, I know it's a hometown venue, but why is that your favorite? I
mean, shit. Great sound, great people, great staff. Stage is fucking big as shit and fucking actually have room to move around without fucking tripping over and hitting myself on everything. We just got like, they've always like taken good care of us since we've been like a super local band around there. They've always supported us, taken good care of us, never treated us like we're any less. So always got love for Bottom Lounge.
Well, I'd be surprised if they would.
And you can smoke weed in the green room, so they're fucking cool as shit about that.
Oh, well, now that's even better, because, yeah, why not? It makes it a better show if that's what's going to get you guys even driving with the creativity.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, but even though I was thinking about too, especially, from Belmont standpoint, it's especially if they saw you live for the first time, especially when you were a super young band, seeing the energy, seeing what you're able to put together, they probably already knew exactly that this was going to be a thing, that they were going to have you guys come back again and again and again. And it was just going to keep being this positive party that everyone wanted to be a part of. So why not treat them with respect? Why not treat them? Of course, every venue that's out there should treat every artist with respect, due to the fact that if that artist wasn't coming through and playing your venue wouldn't be open that day. You wouldn't be making any money that day. So respect the fuck out of them, guys.
Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of venues get that shit mixed up. Like they, like especially when they merch cuts is like a big thing now that's been going on, and it's like I understand that at a certain point venues they got to make their money. Like venues are struggling, but like straight up it's like you'll like you said you're the reason that this this venue or this bar is anyone's even coming to spend their money there. Yet they still want to cut into your pockets and shit, or treat you oh, you're lucky to be here, and it's like. Well, dude, I mean, I'm obviously fortunate to, be doing what I'm doing, and I'm obviously fortunate to be at your, the venues, but it's also I feel like you should be treating us with a little bit of respect too. It's a two-way street. It's not just a one. So it's I feel like whenever a venue shows us, love and respect, we always try to, we always do our best. Even if they don't, we're never disrespectful, but it's we always try to remember those spots for the future, and always just, try to make sure hey, that's where we want to be. We want to give them, our support, give them the fucking liquor sales for the night, because they've always been cool with us. You know what I mean? That's just something we definitely, we see for sure.
Yeah, that's something I've, when it comes to merch cuts, I know venues are trying to keep making money and keep afloat with that, but at the same time, it's the bands are the ones that are printing all that merch, or the ones that are financing it, creating it, hauling it in. All you're doing is having a space for it, and it's oh, well, we could use that space for something else. Okay, fine, totally understand that, but what happens if the band doesn't even show up? Now you're not making any money. Your bar's not making any money. And if you're gonna take from them for a merch cut is, because we're providing the space. Well, then why doesn't the band get to take a percentage of the bar? Because you're not making any money on the bar unless the band actually shows up and plays. Because if people find out that the band's not gonna play that night, they ain't coming.
Yep. That, exactly that, man. And it's obviously, again, not trying to throw shade, but yeah, it's incredible how many venues just don't seem to understand that. And it's it's one thing if you're an active bar, you know what I mean, and you get a lot of draw, and you really are offering the artist something. I can get that, but like you said, it's half the time it's yo, if it wasn't for this band here, you wouldn't have a literal single person coming in here to give you even pay your bartender for the night. So it's how are you gonna turn around and take a cut from us? So it's yeah, it's I don't know, man. Most venues at the end of the day, honestly, are usually pretty cool about it, and they they don't try to dig too deep in your pockets. But we've definitely had our fair share here and there. We've fucking had to get a little fucking fucking people have gotten in our faces about it. We've had to get in their faces about it, because it's bro, listen, you're not about to fucking they'll straight up try to take hundreds of dollars a night from you, and it's bro, this is just not this is not happening.
Yeah, because again, it's especially for a band that's growing and a band that's really getting their footing under them and just continue growing, no matter what size the band is, that's still going to be a big chunk of change and a percentage that's out of their pockets that they've earned, and they're the ones that are not only selling the merch, making the merch, they're doing everything. All you have is just the space where they're going to be playing for that night. Plus, what's to say that band doesn't set up the merch table outside at the end of it? And just because it's, and it could be off the property too. What would happen then? It's the band's still there. The band's still playing there. You're not getting your cut of merch, but the band's getting the whole entire thing. That could still easily happen. I'm pretty sure there's bands out there that have tried that. I wouldn't be surprised if you guys maybe have tried that in the past, given your energy.
Oh, dude,
it seems like a silly goose thing.
Man. There was I can't even think of it. There's just some bigger metal band that was just doing that recently. They're just selling it right out of their trailer just to avoid all merch cuts, because like you said, yeah, it's they technically can't do anything about it then, because you're not selling it on their property, or at least not in the building. And so it's what are you really gonna do about it? You're gonna fucking run our pockets for a merch cut? It's fucking. But see, that's the thing too. It's crazy, because some venues will have that shit in your actual contract, to where the point they won't pay you until they get their merch cut. And so that's when things become problematic, because we've had that in the past for we've tried to it was a venue that was trying to take a lot of money, and so we tried to see if sounds shady, but skirt out before we had to pay a merch cut, and fucking they were well, we're not going to give you your check until you for sure give us this. So it's just they some venues will definitely hold you pretty much at gunpoint to get that little bit of extra cash out of you.
But the one thing that always kind of surprised me with that is, especially if that's going to be what you do with your contracts and that's what you do with your overall style of business, then why would bands want to come through and even play your venue if that's the case?
Yeah, man, I don't know. It's one of those things where, too, the unfortunate thing is that, like, sometimes, like, venues too, it's like you have to there's no other venues in the area, or at least a venue of that size, or like they might be the only one that can take you. So sometimes you unfortunately gotta play ball, and they know that too. But it's honestly funny too, because I feel like it's usually it's usually kind of like the newer, I guess, venues that like end up doing that a lot, and like a lot of the like older and like DIY venues like really just don't give a shit about that, and they're more like they understand the ethic of what it's like to be a working musician, and they just they give you a little more of a break than a lot of these like more corporate newer spots.
Oh, I would assume that too, because especially you think about more of the corporate newer spots, especially the ones that have you more of that business backing, that venture capital backing, they're definitely going to follow along with whatever's going to make them the most money, and they're going to do whatever they can to get every piece of money off of not only the fans but the bands that are playing there, from vendors, whoever it might be. But those ones that are more independent, that are very connected to the music scene and really take full respect of that, those are the ones that know exactly what's going on. They're the ones that are wanting to make sure that supporting local artists, supporting new artists, supporting emerging artists, supporting big artists is a consistent thing. So they're not going to be the ones that are doing that. And then again, bands are going to be the ones that want to go there and play there. It's a problem when if that's the only venue that's in town, though. That's why kind of the pandemic really took a huge hit when we saw those venues close down, because that minimizes the number of venues that bands are able to play, but then it allows businesses to take over some of those, some of those venues and implement policies that maybe people can't get around, that makes them have to play at that venue in that market under whatever conditions they are.
Yup. Yeah, man, that's definitely unfortunate. A big thing that happened over the pandemic for sure was a lot of things kind of got monopolized, and which is like, on one hand, like, so in some ways it's good. There's some venues that definitely feel like needed to kind of like go away a little bit, but also I feel like there's a lot of like great venues, and just even just venues that are just like they're important spots for the scene, or important spots for like local musicians, and I feel like a lot of those got eaten up by like a lot of the Live Nation venues and stuff. And even Live Nation, they tried to like give back a little bit to musicians. They were giving like away like gas cards, and like giving away, like they were like, oh, we're not doing merch cuts. But again, that was only to a certain I think that actually ended at the beginning of 2024. Mm-hmm. So now they're back to doing merch cuts again. So it's like they tried to do this thing of like, oh look, see, like we care about musicians, but like at the end of the day, man, like they're just fucking robbing you. And it's like, you get like, you get your share of things, but just like it definitely doesn't equal out at the end of the day.
It definitely doesn't. And one thing that kind of I might have to do now is, I know that the current Powerball, Mega Millions, everything is rather high. So I should probably go buy a lottery ticket, hope I win it, and then I can officially open up Kevin's Demo Derby live music and hard hits.
Dude, fucking, you got it, man. You fucking got it. I'll be right there. We'll be the first to play it.
Oh, I was going to be like, okay, who do I need to play something like that? Like, I need Belmont up there one night. I need Beartooth up there one night. I need Silly Goose there one night. I just need bands that are going to bring the insane energy just to open up this whole entire thing.
Dude, fuck yeah, baby. That would be fucking badass.
Gotta make it happen. Well, Taz, I do have two more questions for you before we wrap this up. First thing is, of course, Liminal comes out on April 12th, but what does 2024 have in store for Belmont through the rest of the way?
So we're about to announce the tour, so that will definitely be announced by the time this video comes out. We're playing a few fests this summer, and we got a few more tours that are not announced yet, but they will be at hopefully sometime this summer, spring. But yeah, honestly, man, you're just gonna see us on the road as much as possible, just getting ready to push this new album, play as many shows as we can, bring the fucking bounce to every corner of the states that we can.
Perfect. That means
that's all four corners. There's only four corners of the state, so we're gonna bring the bounce everywhere in those four corners.
Perfect. Unfortunately, it might mean Hawaii and Alaska are out of it unless we can find a way to win the Powerball and build Kevin's Demo Derby hard hits and live music and send Belmont to Alaska and Hawaii.
on a fucking cruise ship.
Now that would be something. Yeah, just a whole entire cruise ship just for Belmont.
No, dude, just for the derby, man. Like you gotta go big or go home. You gotta put your derby on the cruise ship.
Okay, that might require
component, bro.
That might require a sane amount of insurance, a sane amount of everything. But if I win, $1 billion, it's possible.
Hey, what? Yeah, it's chump change at that point.
Yeah, just chump change at that point. All right, Taz, I got one more question for you. I've been asking every artist this question since September of 2023, and I'm going to ask you as well. Helps us to get to know more about the great new music that's coming out and the stuff that you absolutely love. So can you give me 3 artists or bands that you absolutely love right now that you would love to see get more support and more recognition in the scene?
Shit, fuck. More support and more recognition. I mean, like, even if they're popping off right now, I know one of them, I've really been hitting hard is Gideon. They're fucking
Yes.
Their album More Pain, More Power is fucking super badass. Fucking that shit hits hard. Another one, again, I know they're like, I'm wearing their shirt right now, but Kublai Khan, those dudes have been popping off, but those dudes deserve all the fucking love. Those are fucking real ass dudes, and they write some fucking great ass music. And shit, trying to think off the top of my head. Shit, man. Let me look at what I've actually even been listening to recently. My bad. I haven't. I'm so bad at this question, bro.
Oh,
I
dude.
feel like every time I get asked, like,
I'll say, dude,
I'm
you're
like,
good. The amount of artists that I've had to look at their Spotify and ask this question is insane. I think it took me like maybe 5 minutes to get Lochi from Alpha Wolf to actually give me 3 answers because he was just like, which ones do I go with, man?
Okay, and another easy one, I guess, like, they're also like obviously like popping off, but there is Volumes. Those dudes fucking, or you know what? No, hold on, no, I definitely got one for you. I just saw their shit come up on my phone. Our House. Definitely look up those dudes. They're like a mix of like metal and trap and like new metal. It's badass. It's really sick.
Well, perfect. You gave me 3 and then you gave me 1 extra. We got a little bit of an extra tidbit right there. And you know what that means?
Yes,
now that means, I got to go the extra mile and try and win the lottery so we can build the Demolition Derby venue.
Fuck yeah, baby. We'll be there. First band to play for you.
That is what I hope. And now, Taz, I do want to thank you for being on the podcast. I really appreciate this. I'm going to close this with 3 things. So first things first, Liminal, the brand new album from Belmont, is available as of April 12th. So go to the description of the podcast where it says find Belmont online. You'll find all the links where you can pre-save it, pre-order it, and when it's ready, stream it, download it, all that good kind of stuff. Also, there'll be links down there where you can get some merch, where you can find them when they're going to be playing live over the course of the rest of the year and throughout all time. And also where you can follow them on social media and not miss a damn thing. I'm doing all the research for you. I'm your personal Google. Description of the podcast has it all for you. And if you're going to miss out on this, then you're going to miss out potentially on the first band to ever play a Demolition Derby show. Like with the Demolition Derby mosh.
Fuck yeah, baby. You don't want to miss that. Don't want to miss that.
Now it's time for number 2. So Taz, whenever I'm guesting the podcast or enjoying the podcast, I tend to make a certain promise, a way to say thank you. I really appreciate it, and I wish to continue to support the band in the future, which I already was going to do anyway because this is so much fucking fun. But my promise to you is this. It's when I get to see you perform live next time, because I've already seen you 3 times, but next time, at the end of it, we'll probably both be drenched in sweat from the fucking show, just absolutely having a blast. But I'll find you at the merch table. Go all Liam Neeson where I'll look for you. I will pursue you. I will find you. I will come say hi. But the real promise is first round's on me.
Hey, baby. Fuck yeah. We'll drink some JMO then.
Oh, yes.
Hey, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We'll do it. And now, Taz, for number 3, I cannot end this by saying goodbye because I would love you back on again on the podcast in the future. I'm definitely make sure I'm seeing you play live as many times as I possibly can because it's so much damn fun. I got to make good on that promise. And you're going to be the first band to play the Demolition Derby venue I'm going to end up putting together. So this is not goodbye, my friend. This is, I'll see you later.
Until next time, man. Have a good one.
Well, folks, that was my interview with Taz from the band Belmont. Now it's time for Kevin's final thought. And my final thought is this. When Taz was talking about how they create their music, where they're just in the studio, messing around, having fun, trying whatever the heck happens, just doing whatever they do best, just hanging out, being the guys, just enjoying life. You can clearly tell that comes through in their music, comes through with their style, and every time you listen to it, you're just gonna have fun. Whether you're listening to the Between Me and You EP, whether you're listening to their debut album that came out in 2018, whether you're listening to Aftermath, which came out in 2022, and when you're listening to Liminal in 2024 when it drops on April 12th. I mean, just jump into SSX Trickmont, them messing around playing Tony Hawk on PS2, and just creating something off of that and making it sound like it literally is the opening track to SSX Tricky. I'm going to keep calling SSX Tricky SSX Trickmont now just based on what they did with it. I can't get over it anymore. But it's just that fun, that enjoyable energy that just brings more positivity to your day every step of the way, with great sound, with great progression, with great energy, and I wouldn't want it any other way. These guys are fantastic. If you do not go and see them play live, you are missing out entirely. Go and see them play live. I highly recommend it. I mean, I recommend seeing bands live all the time. This is one that whenever I see them coming through an area where I'm at, whether it's Milwaukee, if I can go out to Madison, I still get to see them play a hometown show in Chicago. But if I can get there, I am going to go see them play live. I'm not going to miss out on it because it's just that much fun. And listening to this band is like being in the middle of summer during winter. I know I've probably said that a couple times, but man, does it ring true. It's a lot of fun, don't get me wrong. When it comes to Belmont, though, go straight to the podcast below where it says Find Belmont Online. Links, labels for everything for social media, YouTube, where you can pre-save Liminal, where you can pre-order it as well, or if it's out, where you can stream it, download it, listen to it, where you can get some merch, and where you can get tickets to future shows as well as all the way down there. Make sure you also hit subscribe to the Chord Progression Podcast right down here. New episodes every single Tuesday and Thursday, along with our special Friday, what was I going to go with? Music reactions as well. On top of that, we're also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, so hit follow on there. Like these videos to help push in the algorithm. Also, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. All links to the podcast below. Find out what we're doing and talk to us. This is a one-man show. It's just me, so anytime you talk to anybody in the Chord Progression Podcast, you get Kevin. That's still true. Thank you, Taz. This was a fantastic one. I'm glad that, I got to be your first podcast ever that you recorded. It was a blast. Can't wait to do this again with you, man. On that note, that's going to be it, guys. Thank you very much for listening to the Chord Progression Podcast. My name is Kevin, and you guys know how I end every single one. Sounds big, healthy, and hearty. See ya! Yeah.